Welcome to the Legalpreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Sager, and I'm dedicated to covering common legal issues for small business owners and just how some of the world's most elite entrepreneurs have handled legal issues themselves. In true attorney fashion, the information in this episode is not legal advice. This is for informational purposes only, and you should always consult with your attorney before implementing any of the information. Now, on to the show. Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the Legalpreneur Podcast. So today's episode is about PayPal and why you should never use PayPal if you are a service provider. If you are an e-commerce brand, if you ship products to people, well, you know what? You are perfectly fine to use PayPal because that's what PayPal was invented for. Originally, it was, like the eBay payment, PayPal, and it grew to be so much more. So PayPal now is actually, I don't even think eBay uses PayPal anymore. I believe they changed payment processors, but that's how PayPal got to be as big as it is today because of eBay. Now, if you are selling online for any products, whether you have your own website and you have products to ship people, or if you're using, a third-party site and they allow you to use PayPal, as long as you are shipping products to people and you can prove that you've shipped the item, then you're fine to use PayPal. However, it is not okay for service providers to use PayPal because PayPal does not protect service providers. I'll get a million comments about this. People say, I'm a service provider and somebody filed a chargeback and I won. Okay, I will explain everything, but in the meantime, just know that in the end, if somebody files a chargeback directly with their credit card company, and that credit card company takes the money away from PayPal, PayPal will then take that money away from you. Now, when most people do actually win the chargeback, that's when it is filed directly with PayPal because there's two different ways they can file a chargeback. They can file a chargeback with PayPal. PayPal will conduct its investigation. You provide your evidence, and then you win or lose. So you get to keep the money or PayPal takes it from you. But that's within PayPal itself. And that's typically what most people believe is what's happening with everything through PayPal. But even if you win that chargeback directly with PayPal, if their customer then goes to their credit card company and files a chargeback, most likely that credit card company is going to take that money from PayPal. And then PayPal is going to take that money from you. And it says in their terms explicitly, hey, we're not here to protect service providers. I don't have the language in front of me, but I've had to look this up for multiple clients. And it just comes down to they just don't protect service providers. If you're a service provider, you have to work with a provider that does help service providers. Now, I know Stripe, within the past few years, they have changed their terms to say, yes, we do protect service providers. And they say in their terms, or maybe the memo that came out that said they changed, it says that if they file the chargeback with the credit card company and the credit card company takes that money from them, Stripe is just out that money. Stripe is going to protect you because that's what they stand by and those are their terms. And that's how they have their clients, is because they're protecting us, the service providers. So if you are a service provider, whether an online coach, an accountant, a lawyer, whatever you're doing, make sure that you are using a payment processor that protects service providers specifically. Now, there's others that do protect service providers. For the work that I've done for my clients, I know specifically that Stripe does protect service providers. I personally use FortisPay for my law firm services. So that is definitely another option. I'll link that here as well. So just make sure that you're protecting yourself. And if you're a fitness trainer providing a $5 online training class, well, at the end of the day, if somebody files a chargeback through PayPal for $5, okay, well, that's not really the end of the day. That's not a game changer for you. But I've had people that have had chargebacks on PayPal for $18,000. So make sure that you're being reasonable with what payment processor you're using. Definitely don't use Venmo. That's not professional. Cash App, none of that is professional. If you want to be taken seriously as a service provider, as a professional, you have to use a professional payment processor, and you have to make sure they will protect you. Alrighty, that's my quick little episode today. I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you in a couple days on Thursday. Have a good one. If you found this information helpful, I would be so grateful if you could share it with a fellow business owner. And it doesn't cost anything to rate, review, or subscribe to the show. Your support helps me reach more listeners, which allows me to support more business owners in their entrepreneurial journey. I'll see you next episode.